Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Today I have a product review and it's on the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. This is what the sponge looks like. It is orange in color. It has a flat edge and round body with a tip at the top. To compare it to the original Beauty Blender, the only thing that they really have that's similar compared to each other in terms of structure, it's the half all the way to the top. Because they both have this rounded edge and pointed tip. The bottom of this sponge is slanted. The bottom of the other one is just rounded. So that's one thing that you have an advantage with this one as opposed to that one. And another quick advantage that you have is the pricing. This one is only $5.99 and the original Beauty Blender is only $19.95, I believe. I will link them down below. This one I got at ULTA, but you can also get it at realtechniques.com if I'm not mistaken. But I'll put all that product stuff down below in case you're wondering. But I'm not going to compare the Miracle Complexion Sponge with the original Beauty Blender because I've never tried the Beauty Blender and I don't own it, so I can't give you my experience or thoughts on that product. But moving on to this one, the packaging looks like this. It is clear with whites and orange with the two ladies down here, and it's a 3-in-1 Miracle Complexion Sponge. You can use the flat edge for contouring around the nose and eyes, and the sides, which is technically the body of the product, you can use that for blending large areas of your face, and then the tip you can use that to cover imperfections, and that's just what it says back here. And it also says you can use it damp or dry with liquid foundation and to wash it every 1 to 3 uses. It does expand in size, and I'll show the picture before, which it is a little bit under 3 inches with it being dry. And with it being wet, the sponge comes out, I think, a little bit under 4 inches, I think. So it's like 3 point something inches, but it does expand just about a full inch with it being wet. Now this product is very great for basically any type of product that you have in your makeup collection except your powder products. I haven't tried setting my under eye with this, but it could probably work, but I wouldn't recommend you trying your powder foundation using this sponge because I'm not quite sure how it would work and I've never tried it that way. The only way that I've used it is with liquid foundations, and the one that I'm going to show in the clip is with this foundation. It's the Makeup Forever HD High Definition Foundation. This first clip is with that foundation that I just talked about and the sponge being dry. When the sponge is dry, you can get a more full covering wear out of your foundation, if that makes any sense. It's not taking away anything from the product, it's just letting your product work the way it was designated to do so. In terms of whenever the sponge is wet, it does have water already in there, so it doesn't pick up a lot of product, which is a good thing whenever you're using it wet. And it does give you a more natural sheer look to your face. So even though this one is a natural everyday foundation, it will sheer it down to kind of minimal coverage. So it does kind of take away a little bit from the product. But that's just whatever you're trying to go for. If you want something more natural, you would best accomplish it with the sponge being wet. If you want something more full covering and long lasting, it would be something with the sponge being dry, because it would technically just show the product the way it is. It won't take anything away from it the way it would whenever it's wet. I did mention that it doesn't pick up a lot of product whenever it's wet because it already has product in here. So whenever it is dry, it does consume and soak up a little bit extra from your product because after all, it is a sponge. Comparing the sponge to a original little makeup wedge, the material is different. This one is a little bit more rubbery and this one is a little bit more squishy, maybe a whole lot more squishy, and apparently more like a sponge. This one soaks up way too much product, and then whenever this one's wet, it doesn't even work. So don't waste your money on that because this one's only $5.99, and at ULTA there's coupons all the time. You can get this the way I got it. I got it for something around under $2. So use those coupons and you can get this one very dirty cheap. And it does the same thing that a beauty blender does, as I heard from a lot of YouTube videos and product reviews and blogs and stuff like that. You can use this with liquids, you can use it with cream, highlighters, foundations, cream, blushes, and bronzers. So it's very useful. You can even use this to apply like eyeshadow bases, eyeshadow creams. You can use it for the inner corner to just brighten that up, or even under your brow bone if you like. The edge here at the top, it is good for going around blemishes and covering up those blemishes. It's also great for around the edges of your nose and your lips, just to make sure you get the product well in there. And just in case you do your brows before your foundation, it is very helpful to get as much as close you can to your brows, and you still won't get it dirty or you won't mess up your brow product or whatever. Now I do wash it every 1 to 2 washes. I don't let it go any further, so it does get stained if you don't wash it immediately after use, but depends on what products you use to clean it, that will come off. It won't stain forever. Now I just rinse it out until the soap is out, and that's how I know that I'm done washing it, but it won't really take off the stains so much. And don't do this or scratch it with your nails because it will destroy the sponge itself. This size, it is the expanded size, in case you're wondering. Now it is a little bit wet and it is a little bit dry, but this is pretty much the size that it gets whenever it is wet. It's just about the size of my palm. In terms of color, I think it does get lighter the more you wash it, but that might just be the type of soap that I use, which is an antibacterial soap. I'm not quite sure. Replace these kind of like the way you replace your toothbrushes. Make sure you replace them every 3. Don't go any further than 4 months because it does consume bacteria and stuff like that, which is bad for your face, and it's just bad in nature because you might use it whenever you're sick or whenever you have a pink eye or something. So just keep that all in mind. Do replace it. I'll put a video down below of Tati. She is a YouTuber here on YouTube, and she explained how she cleans her sponge. Now she did it with the original beauty blender, I believe, but she showed a trick where she sticks it in the microwave to basically take out all the bacteria that it harbors inside the sponge. She says she does this with her sponges from her dishes, and it works very great. I personally haven't tried it, but I will try it soon. One thing that I absolutely love about this product is the fact that it cuts down my foundation routine so much, probably even by half. But that's all really that I have to say about this sponge. I do like it, I do recommend it. It is fairly inexpensive, very accessible. If you have any questions or comments, leave that down below. I hope this was helpful to you. I inserted the clips and the pictures, so I hope that was a good kind of idea of how you can take care of it and use it, and more of its features. But if you still have any questions or comments, leave that down below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!